Hi everyone. We'll be starting today's session in just few minutes. I am just waiting to hear that there's no problem with the sound. As soon as I get that confirmation, we'll start. Hello. 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 Yes. Um, Lucy, are you okay? But can you see my face? You see that time? Now you can see this time. So what will you do? Is the audio clear? Hello. Yeah, can you hear the audio? What do? No, no. Oh, it's okay. Okay. Okay, so actually, I think I was going through the curriculum which you guys have been, or course plan which is planned for you guys in social media. And I understand that you have more or less completed various activities about Facebook, and now you are going to do Twitter, and subsequently YouTube and Instagram. Um, and I was thinking what would be the useful content for you today to talk about. And I think one of the most interesting, simple and difficult topic. So there are paradoxes, simple and difficult. Uh, that what makes a campaign viral? I think all of us search for that answer, and there's a lot written about that what makes a campaign viral. But it is perhaps one of the most difficult topic to talk about because perhaps no one has mastered the art of making a campaign viral. So whatever today we are going to talk about, it is based on learnings that if a particular campaign has gone viral, or if couple of campaigns which have gone viral, what has helped them what has helped them go viral, but really there is no these are only the pointers which we have to keep in mind while designing a campaign or while designing an activity. There is no guarantee that if we just follow those campaigns, it will go viral. So always there are, couple of variations which happen, which one has to think that what can make a campaign really go viral on this. Before we talk about this social media thing, that what can make a campaign go viral, I think it would be interesting to understand some of the concepts or thought process related with with the phenomena which is called breakout of a campaign. Those of you who have interest in reading the books, I think it will be good for you to read a book called The Entertainment Economy. That's a book which talks in interesting manner about the various entertainment media, TV, press, news, and films also, that what makes a film or any digital activity suddenly go viral, or suddenly what makes a film really go, uh, what makes a film really become a chartbuster globally. And what is very interesting is some very simple findings, that we as human beings tend to react in a similar way from one corner of the universe to another corner of the universe. So, if there's a film which becomes a hit, it becomes a hit because suddenly there is something in that film which connects human beings from USA to India to anywhere, and everyone starts reacting to a film in a particular manner, which is a positive manner, and that film becomes a phenomenal successful. So, what are the things which really helps people react in a similar manner? And that brings us to some of the other interesting ideas, which like pattern watching. If you see around, like there's a lot of work which has been both in case of, also in case of psychology, is that human beings tend to have a particular pattern. And not only human beings, even the businesses tend to have certain patterns which helps people identify which businesses are going to be successful, which businesses are going to be profit making. There's another interesting book called The Profit Patterns, where the author has analyzed that all successful, profitable businesses tend to follow a particular pattern since. So if we follow those patterns, it is extremely helpful to predict when you see businesses from a distance, that what can make them successful. Similarly, if you go into, on the psychology side, patterns in human behavior side, even if you don't read the books like your profit patterns, etc., which are a little bit heavy in terms of your uh, age group where you are and what kind of studies you are doing, but I think another book which I would recommend that you should read is called People Watching. Earlier it was named Men Watching. Analyzes human behavior and says that, and actually tells us that how human beings tend to react in a similar manner uh, on various stimuli. And seeing those patterns, one can actually analyze human behavior. And the author has done a brilliant job by, giving patterns in life of things which are completely unrelated. I mean, that how a particular gesture across the world means that human beings are thinking in that manner. To to this pattern, you will get a net of finding out how particular human going to react, how particular successful, or similarly analyze the patterns behind large number of successful campaigns, you may be able to perhaps get a couple of remember that when you are designing a campaign, that what are the things which have helped certain campaigns to go viral. Let's take a pause here and go back to traditional media. Before social media came in, the marketing was really limited to traditional media, which is television, press, outdoor hoardings. Primarily, these were, even now, when we talk about traditional media, and any particular media planner, brand manager looks at the marketing plan, they to use mix of TV, press, outdoor media, which is hoarding. Each of this media had a particular way you measure, you end up seeing viewership. All the channels basically follow the same currency and same kind of indicator of performance, that what is the viewership which a channel carries. If it is a print media, it is about readership. It is outdoor media, it is opportunity to see. And based on that, you decide, or brand manager decides, which media really to invest how much on which media. Now, when a particular campaign is decided that, okay, let's break this campaign in traditional media, there's a mix of all these three media which is used. So it is extremely important that there's a certain gets created, not only in TV, but on press and also in outdoor. So you'll find it is something new you are hearing first time, that when suddenly Coke or Pepsi or Airtel or any other brand comes with you, you will find that there on TV media, it is on print media, and it is also on outdoor media. And also in a slightly different manner, depending upon what that media is meant to do. TV, you impact, you can run an ad 30 seconds, 40 seconds, so you create which certain emotions inside you in a different manner. Print is really to give straightforward messages, and if you want to explain something more in detail in text, maybe print, you support that through print. And outdoor is sheer visibility, because you can't write too much of text on outdoor media. But primarily, it's like this, that if there are newspapers, whether it's Times of India or Hindustan Times, or it could be Indian Express, that you find that they are all used in a similar manner. The difference is only that where do you spend more money depending upon which newspaper has more readership. Primarily, there may be sometimes some other reasons, but primarily the selection is based on that. Now, social media came into the picture a bit later. So when today a company breaks a campaign, besides this traditional media, there is also social media, which is considered that, okay, let's use social media also, or digital media also. And that is where I think the difference between social media or digital media is that you can actually engage customers online, and you can see how people are responding in real time to your campaigns, etc. So for normal campaigns, social media becomes just one of the supporting media, where really still the most dominant are press and TV, and social or digital becomes one of the kind of avenue to also reach customers. But of late, in last couple of years, we have companies doing outstanding work using only digital or social media. And I think today, when we are talking about that, what makes a campaign viral, or what are the things which can help campaign go viral, we are basically talking about the campaigns which are designed in mind only social media. And this is something which was really not imaginable a couple of years back, that can a company really create a buzz without investing crores of rupees on TV and press, which is extremely expensive media, by just using social media very creatively. Now, there has been some significant, success which companies have achieved, and I think endeavor of creative people and marketing people is to design certain activities which gives you huge ROI compared to what you get by spending traditional media. So I'm not taking away what traditional media still gives. This is still very important for visibility, for driving the sales, etc. But what is important to highlight is that growth of social media and also of digital media is uh, playing a role of democratizing this media business. It means even if you don't have too much of money, you don't have too much of money power, still you can come out with some brilliant campaigns and achieve your objective without spending crores of rupees on those campaigns. And that's where I think we are trying to see that what can make a campaign go viral, or what are the lessons to be learned from some of the campaigns which have gone viral. Uh, Rather than, I was thinking how to structure this session, and rather than giving you, certain specific guidelines that these are the things which can make a campaign viral, because very frankly, as I said in the beginning of the session, that perhaps no one can guarantee that if you follow this 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, the campaign will go viral. But I thought that maybe a better way would be that we take, one or two very successful campaign and see what made them really go viral, uh, or get the attention of the people, uh, which help the company achieve its objective. You are also, from the point of view of coverage of your course, I think it is the right time when you have completed Facebook, getting into Twitter, to understand that it always helps nowadays in social media to integrate various kinds of social media to drive a particular campaign. So I would say like this, that traditionally when companies used to make their media plan, they used to consider what role in their media plan TV should play, what role press should play, and what role outdoor should play. Accordingly, I think it's important to today, it's very useful for today to understand that if you are launching a social media campaign, in making that campaign successful, what role you think Facebook will play, what role you think Twitter will play, and if you have a company has a dominant presence on Instagram or YouTube or any other social media, what role can those media play? So I think there's there's a huge merit in, not even if you are thinking certain activity that primary focus would remain on Facebook, but you need to understand that all four media or 4, 5 different kind of social media which are more popular in India per se, that they all interact with end customers in a different way and give you opportunity to take the message, the end message of the campaign to the consumers in a different way. So you have to, it is always good to see that and plan in the beginning itself that what do you think should be the role of each of this media in your campaign plan. I think the one of the most successful campaign in Facebook, which has been visible to perhaps all of you, has been ASL Ice Bucket Challenge. So I thought it may be good to go through that campaign and understand what made it really that successful. And that will give us some insight to see that if we are designing certain campaigns, how do we pick up certain elements which have been predominantly responsible for making that campaign successful and integrate that into our campaign as well. Also at this point of time, it will be important to remember that entire digital space, the things are changing at a breathtaking speed. So when this particular ASL Ice Bucket scheme was launched, I think it was launched keeping in mind primarily Facebook as an media. But I personally feel that at this point of time, if we are thinking about any campaign, we need to evaluate very critically that what role in that campaign Facebook would play, what Twitter will play, and what, let's say, Instagram or YouTube could play. It is very natural to say that certain activity is primarily driven by one particular media, which is Facebook or Twitter, or it could be Instagram. But I'm sure that other media, which if suppose primary media is Facebook, then other media like Twitter or Instagram, etc., could play a very significant secondary role to make that campaign successful. So, though we are discussing as of now ASL Ice Bucket Challenge, which is really primary, it was Facebook-led activity. But I think in today's scenario, if we launch any activity, it's important for us to also consider other social media things also. Now, perhaps all of you are aware about ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, but in case someone is not aware of, this was a uh, activity which was launched to create awareness uh, about ALS disease and to generate the fund in a manner that people feel positive about that. And that entire activity goes viral with the help of people. So the activity was very simple, that people were supposed to uh, take you would have seen number of videos that they would take ice bucket challenge, and they will pour over themselves a bucket full of ice, and then they will nominate three people who would say that they would prefer that these people also take the ice bucket challenge. And there was a time limit that challenge was valid for next 24 hours. So in a timely manner, they take that challenge, and they also upload their videos. And there were phenomenal response to this scheme. In fact, there were 17 million videos which were uploaded for this scheme across more than 100 countries, and also in terms of sheer viewership, these videos were watched by more than 440 million people, and the statistics says that they watched that, and that too more than 10 billion times. And not only that this scheme was successful in terms of just the eyeballs and number of people who participated, but it also helped the organization, ALS Association, to raise much higher revenues than they were able to do earlier before launching this scheme. Now, somewhere I had read that they are planning to repeat this campaign again this year, but let's see how successful it would be if they repeat it. But definitely the first edition was extremely successful. If we see now, what are the key things, key parameters which made this scheme successful? The first thing is that it is very important that any kind of campaign has a potential to go viral if there is a emotional connect, or the campaign strikes a right emotional chord. In this particular case, what was the emotional chord? It was very simple, that okay, I am doing something which is helping increase the awareness about the disease, and also that in turn is prompting people to donate more uh, towards this noble cause. So there was something, a feel-good factor. When I'm taking Ice Bucket Challenge, I feel good, and there's an emotional connect with that particular activity. So this is something which really drove people from from one person to multiple person to take this kind of Ice Bucket Challenge and upload their videos, because what they had to do was very simple thing, and they had a huge sort of self-satisfaction that by sitting at home, I'm doing something which can help some large number of people suffering from that disease. So striking the emotional chord is something which is generally found that in campaigns which go viral is important. The thing is that, what is that which, second thing was that there was something which was unusual which was being done which had created buzz. So it was not a very routine thing that pour a bucket full of ice on top of you. So that suddenly caught the attention. So besides emotional connect, second important parameter was that there was definitely the buttons which were there to create a buzz. So this campaign integrated activities or activity which was unusual and which helped create the buzz about that. So it was unusual. Definitely that activity was unusual. Now, there's a book called Buzz Marketing by Mark Hughes. It says that what are the kind of activities which creates the buzz. So in case of, for example, in this ice bucket challenge, the activity was unusual. But besides being unusual, as per Mark Hughes, if the activities are something which are taboo, unusual, outrageous, hilarious, or certain secretive element if it is there, or remarkable. So he has put six kind of he has categorized activities in six categories which have potential to create buzz. And I repeat them, that if they are taboo, or they are unusual, outrageous, hilarious, remarkable, or there are certain secret associated with the activities. So these are the six buttons which he found from experience and observations that can be pushed to purposefully encourage people to talk about the brand. And that is what really in case of ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which was achieved because the activity was definitely unusual. The other important thing is, and it is definitely far more valid in India than in any other country, though definitely it's worked in case of Ice Bucket Challenge in other countries beyond India also. It is celebrity participation. Now, every country, really people react to celebrity participation, celebrity endorsement. Now, you have seen that recently, whether there's a film star, whether it is Kangana Ranaut or Salman Khan or Hrithik Roshan, they say any casual word or any activity they do that becomes a matter of discussion at prime time. And the whole India wants to know that why Salman Khan said this, or country wants to know with Arnab that why Kangana Ranaut said that. So celebrity participation in any kind of activity becomes a huge push for that activity to become successful. And on top of that, if that participation is more voluntarily than because of any commercial reasons, that brings huge amount of endorsement for that activity. So, one is paid endorsement, which brands use in general, and you see film stars endorsing a particular brand or doing certain campaign, etc. But if you find celebrities themselves taking Ice Bucket Challenge without any monetary gain, it is definitely a huge eye-catching thing for the masses. And in this particular activity, I think those who have followed, they have seen, every aspect, from every spectrum of functional areas, from politics to film stars to sportsmen to musicians, everyone from Britney Spears to Barack Obama to Bill Gates, everyone participated in this kind of activity, and they took this Ice Bucket Challenge, and that creates huge buzz about this activity. So, when we talk about, influence of celebrity in India, we all know that if we are talking about any activities potential to go viral, if it has a celebrity push, the chances are much, much brighter. And this is something which, again, I'm referring to the book by Mark Hughes, which is Buzz Marketing. He has, like I mentioned, he has mentioned very, very significantly in his book that voluntarily celebrity endorsements have a bigger impact than paid. And because as soon as you pay a celebrity to endorse, people realize that they are doing something for money, not necessarily because of the belief that this product or this activity has a potential which goes beyond uh, commercial restraints or constraints. So this definitely played a major role in making that activity successful. Uh, the other thing is, in social media, it is very important, and for that matter, in other in activities which are in other media like TV and press also. But social media is an interactive media that you can do certain things then and there. If you are watching TV, you see a brand, it is very difficult to immediately engage with the brand and do something. But in case of social media, you can immediately do. You can click something, you can like something, you can make a comment somewhere. So it is generally seen that for a activity to go viral, it is very important that there is a very clear and simple call to action. Now, it had a very clear call of action that it is taking ice bucket challenge, and he nominates 3 people that will take, you know, ice bucket challenge 4 hours. And so there's no kind of confusion. It's a simple activity directed to specific individuals that you take the ice bucket challenge. Or if someone wants to start his or her own chain, then only thing they have to do is take the ice bucket challenge, pour the bucket full of ice on themselves, and nominate 3 people whom they feel that they would like to take. So it was pretty simple for people to, understand that what the activity was all about. Now, in this particular case, when we say financial benefit to the company, there was really no fee for participation, or it was no constant that you have to pay to take ice bucket challenge, etc. Or you have to donate something necessarily. But the whole idea was that if the awareness increases, the donations will increase on its own. And it did happen that donations to ALS increase like anything. But there may be activities where there may be direct financial implications based on the successful or engagement with the activity per se. So, this is one kind of activity which was done on Facebook, and you can read about this activity on net, etc., or you would have seen this. It has been one of the most successful activity on social media ever. Very simple, striking the right chords with the people, celebrities coming on their own to participate in this, doing unusual activity with very clear call of action. Looks very simple, and I think most of the things in life which become very successful, not complicated. One particular activity which gives them in terms of what can make an activity go viral. There's another, I'll take one more activity to talk about that, which was driven by Starbucks, and it was primary medium was Twitter, sorry. So this activity was tweet a coffee to your friend. So the entire concept was that you go on, and if you want to tweet a Starbucks coffee to your friend, you pay certain amount of money on payment gateway on that page, which was less than the coffee price in the market. And from there only you can tweet the code along with your tweet to your friend, and that receives this tweet can go to nearest Starbucks and he can redeem that tweet. That showing that tweet, that coupon can be redeemed in exchange of a Starbucks coffee. So it was a very smart move because it tried two things. If we look at that, one was a fun activity that from your mobile, from your laptop, you can tweet coffee to your friends, which was very unusual at that first time. Rather than using Twitter for micro formatting, micro format blogging, you are able to send a product. And the other thing was that it also new opportunity for the company, in the sense that there was a very significant amount of sales which took place through this activity. That really, I think, indicated towards the power of social media emerging as an alternative mode of distribution per se. So this particular activity, if you go to the Starbucks site on USA, you will find that at this point of time, they're saying that this activity was beta and they have for time being stopped that. But they have large number of gift cards which you can tweet to your friends, relatives, etc., and they can redeem various gifts from Starbucks centers, nearby centers. So this was another example. It had a very clear revenue objective and also a surprise element. Very different activity from Ice Bucket Challenge, which had a fun activity, emotional connect, and celebrity endorsement. This activity had a very clear business objective to see whether Twitter can emerge as a alternate distribution channel. Now, in your marketing career, if you the guys who will be looking into building their career in marketing, it is not very often that you come across opportunity to see if you can make a activity go viral. Now, I was just talking to your coach coordinator, and there's some very interesting campaign which has been really launched and launched by Songdu, and we had suggested that why not give opportunity to all of you to see whether one can create, one can bring virality into that campaign. So if you see a campaign which has been recently started by Songdu, which is Thank You for the Music. The entire campaign is about that there's a NGO called Music Basti, which spends time, money, and musicians go there to teach music to underprivileged kids. And what Songyu has done is tied up with Music Basti, and the scheme is that every musician he has to log on to Songyu for music and upload it, giving tribute to his gurus or musicians in tribute, that saying that whom he dedicates his music, etc. And every video there is a certain amount which is funded towards the this good cause to Music Basti. So it's a one month long campaign, not a very long campaign, but it is 1 month long campaign. You can't compare exactly it with other campaigns, but there are certain elements. It has an emotional connect because activities which you do, which is a very simple activity that give a video tribute to person with whom you have learned music or who has been your inspiration. And by doing this simple activity, sitting anywhere across India, you can help kids who don't have means to learn music, learn music. So now this is the activity which is the campaign which we launched just a couple of days. There are some interesting things which are planned to see how one can create more buzz about the campaign. Now, what you I think need to do is, and that is what perhaps I'm not aware of your exact assignment, etc. But I think all of you who are interested to see what goes a campaign, what makes a campaign viral, this is a extremely good opportunity for you to try different things. I mean, whatever is being told in your assignment, etc., keep that aside. You do that, but think in a very creative manner that what you think can make this activity get more buzz in social media, get more visibility, and encourage more and more people. And this people who upload videos need not be really professional musicians alone. It could be the guys or girls who are learning music. That how do we convince them, or how do we bring it to their notice that by uploading a small video sitting in front of their laptop or mobile phone, they can make a difference in the life of kids who otherwise cannot afford education in music. So I think relevance of today's lesson is immediate to the tasks you may have in hand, and it may be a good kind of a practice session for you to, you know, go through certain learnings and see how you would like to creatively implement that into the ongoing campaign. Those who are interested to know more about this can definitely get in touch, or those who have some more interesting ideas which you feel should be done by the company, or those who want to do certain things on their own and want any kind of support. I think please do get in touch with Pragya, and she would be happy to support or encourage or give any kind of support you may need in terms of creative or other activities, other material which you would like to have to make a campaign successful. So I think this is what I wanted to cover in today's session, that some of the trends which make a particular campaign successful. And if you have any questions on this, I'll be happy to answer now any questions. Okay, The one question out here. Okay, Priya Jan has asked a question: is there any restriction regarding the use of social media for campaign? Well, I'm not very clear about the question, but perhaps I think she wants to know is that there any restriction that if a particular campaign should be used on Facebook or Twitter, etc. Well, uh, there are no restrictions by this platforms per se. We have to see what is the campaign which we want to launch and which particular media could act as a driver for that campaign. Different kind of media has certain limitations. For example, the campaign which Songyu has launched, "Thank You for the Music." Now, one has to explain in detail uh, that what this activity is all about, and then the output of that campaign or that call to action is that upload a video. And when you talk about uploading a video or sharing a video, I think Facebook today is a far effective platform than Twitter. Twitter is very effective if you have to tweet particular thing. So if you are tomorrow doing an activity where the response expected is that okay, you have to tweet particular some kind of message or some output has to be a tweet, then Twitter may be more effective. But so the choice which media you want to use obviously is dependent upon what you think is going to be the call for action. So a question from Shivani Saxena. I'm sorry, there is some problem in seeing the questions, so it is taking some time to read that. The what she's saying is that just like a good campaign on social media goes viral, the negative feedback by a customer to a celebrity's comment goes viral too. I've seen a lot of complaints, etc., that people do for brands on social media. How do firms tackle that? Well, it's a interesting question. You know, unlike other traditional media, social media is, as you all know, it's a two-way process that people do react very negatively if they are not happy, and that is a public kind of information. Um, I think it is extremely useful for company because generally otherwise people who are sitting in the top or decision making process many times because of day-to-day work, they tend to go away from the realities on the ground. And if they are engaging on social media or seeing the company's page on regular basis, they get a first-hand feedback that what is going wrong or what is something where customers are disturbed about the company's policy or service. So I think it is not good for a company to adverse comments, but the one has to see positive thing out of that. That at least you come to know that there's a problem there. So if there's a company which is where at certain place is failing to provide good service, I think you have to investigate and accept your mistake that yes, we are unable to uh, you know provide that kind of service which is expected. So really in terms of how to tackle such negative comments, one needs to, my view is that there's nothing wrong in accepting the mistake. One has to investigate, and if there's a mistake, not only, but also ensure that customers see, most of the customers, if their issues clarified and someone listens to them, they may be initially very angry, but I think all of us go through that phase when issue gets addressed. We tend to lose our we try to control ourselves, and whatever temper, etc., we lose, that becomes a history as long as we find a satisfactory solution. I think all companies uh, who are aware about the social media implications take these negative complaints in stride and take advantage of that by putting their systems in place and ensuring that the customers are happy with the product. There is another question which Shivani Saxena has asked. There is always a trade-off between reach and frequency of any advertising message. What is more important from social media's point of view? Okay. Uh, see, these are, it's a very, very intelligent question, and getting this kind of questions at this stage at your career, I think it's something, it just indicates that you are doing a very good job of not only this particular course, but otherwise, you have been very, very observant of the things around you. See, it's always a billion-dollar question for any media planner, that how to optimize uh, reach uh, and frequency of a particular advertisement. Um, Now they are all empirical data for various media. So there's, sometimes there's a scientific research which is done, which is also done based on certain set of data which is available. That if you are running, for example, a advertisement on TV, that how many times you should run an same advertisement for that campaign to be effective. So if you are running an advertisement on one particular channel, it has a certain reach. So reach is given. if you run on a particular program, that viewership is known, so that reach is given. Now, how many times you should run a particular um, advertisement over a period of time to get an impact of that, and that is something which all media planners they have based on various researches done, data analysis done. They have certain ready-made softwares, etc., which they put in the data and say, okay, if this particular channel and that is the reach, this is the kind of frequency which is required to create a certain impact. Um, because more money you spend, I mean more frequently you show the advertisement, there is a certain kind of investment which is done. So it is in the same way. I think that question goes into social media also, that if you have to run a message, that how often do you run that message? uh, I think while designing the campaign, you have to see that how do you create the buzz and how you remain in the top of mind, how you build up top of mind recall for your campaign. So your page reach is given, the amount of advertising you want to do, whether in Facebook you want to boost posts or digital media to promote that activity. You have in your hand that how much reach you want to have. I think what will create the interest is that rather than repeating the same kind of creatives, how do you move from one kind of thing to another interesting element of the activity? Going back to this ice bucket challenge, that if you see what used to happen and how it remains on the top of mind of so many people during the campaign period, that it was not about communication was not about that, okay, you pour a bucket full of ice on yourself every day. I think after initial certain phase, every day that message anyway got reiterated, not exactly by seeing the videos of various people taking up ice bucket challenge. So the focus shifted from direct communication to really seeing the videos which gave the top of mind recall. Now those videos, if we say there are millions of videos which got uploaded, it means the repetition of that kind of a message was n number of times through that video, but it never became repetitive because each video was unique and there was a different kind of fun element, etc., different situation, different surroundings in those videos, which kept the interest of the campaign alive. So I think when we design a campaign, we have to be very careful to see that how do we sustain the interest in that campaign over a period of time by bringing different creative elements into the uh, campaign period. How long should there's another question which is there, that how long should a campaign run? And a related question along with that is that how should companies measure their social media marketing success? The second question is not exactly linked with the campaign, so we'll answer that separately. The first question, which is how long a campaign should run. Well, again, there's no fixed answer. It depends upon the uh, strength of the campaign and concept, whether it has meat enough to pull it beyond my ideally, to avoid any kind of fatigue factor. Uh, it is not desirable to run a campaign unless it has certain element which it can keep on evolving to run beyond 4 to 6 weeks. I think it's the optimum time to run a campaign. Beyond that, there is a certain kind of fatigue factor. Uh, Again, it will depend upon campaign to campaign. For example, when you talk about the concepts like tweet a coffee to your friend, I think this kind of a campaign is not about just a campaign to create a buzz. This is also about developing a channel of distribution for coffee, which was never thought of, that people can actually buy coffee in a way on Twitter and tweet it to their friends, etc. So this kind of campaign, if you take it more as a distribution run, it can become a permanent feature as a distribution channel, that any point of time you want to tweet, that facilities are available. So this could be a timeless campaign there. But if you're talking about marketing campaign per se for a fixed time, buzz and get certain response, I think you'll find that most of the campaigns 4 to 6 weeks are good enough time. Beyond that, if something is really planned, it can evolve into different kind of activities you can take from one particular segment or one particular geography. If you are doing something which is, country specific, and you want to do in a phased manner, restricting initially to certain part of geography, etc., then you can stretch it longer. Otherwise, perhaps 4 to 6 weeks. The second question was about how do companies measure success of social media campaigns uh, or social marketing efforts. Well, it all depends upon what is the objective for the company for various campaigns. For example, if we say, and outsiders perhaps may not be knowing, so it is more internally people need to understand that, for example, if we are saying Songyu campaign, which we are launching for Thank You for the Music, if internally we say that, okay, we'll consider this campaign successful if at least, anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 musicians in India upload their video, that's the benchmark to create for yourself, that this is what we consider that at least this campaign was worth investing time, effort into that. There may be some other activity, and this is because it is not focused to general people, it is focused to musicians. Activity which is focused to large number of customers, this numbers 1,000 can be 1 lakh also, 1 million also. Similarly, when we talk about social media, I think in one of the earlier sessions also we had discussed that there are companies who say we are doing the media activity to directly support our online business. So, companies like, e-commerce company, bookmyshow.com, which are into online business, they may say, besides being in touch with customers' grievance and besides really getting feedback of customers on online, we will use social media also to drive conversions and referral traffic to our site, and use social media as a channel which gives us traffic which is buying, which is generating business from our side. So some of the companies, I have seen e-commerce companies, they have set a target that they will use social media to drive up to 10% of the in the early stage. So this is something which company to company and the business to business, depending upon what kind of business they are into it, they will set the objective for social media and accordingly drive. So I think before ending today's session, I would again suggest that there is an extremely good opportunity for you to try out and see how can you make a particular hashtag trending on Twitter, how to create certain buzz into social media for a campaign. So it's just a very good opportunity when a campaign, Thank You for the Music, is live at this point of time. And it would be great if some of you can come out with some good ideas and execute in your social media to drive this campaign and see the reaction of your friends and other people who are connected with you on platforms like Facebook, Twitter. And to help you execute those ideas, if you need any creative support, any creatives to be made, etc., please do get in touch with Pragya and we'll be happy to support that. Okay, all the best. Good luck.